I'm not. I'm not naturally a fan of statement o'clock, and it's something that I think Rangers created a while ago in a far more kind of troubled time. Um, what I will say is this: I like the statement. I think it was it's more grown up. It's not throwing rattles out of prams. It's clear, it's concise, it's measured. They're not going on the attack. They're not, foaming at the mouth. They're merely backing their own point up and saying we're actually okay with the rules as they are. That's fine, but they have to be applied equally across the board. And they've been able to point out instances where they feel that's not been the case. And I think they're perfectly entitled to do that. Previously, Rangers and their former other carnations might have wanted to go to war or suggest that people are out to get us, say there's a conspiracy or want him put up against a wall for it. That was a bad trend that Rangers created because, again, the unrest at the top and some of the people that were coming and going through the boardroom doors. I see this as a far more measured, grown-up approach, and I like the statement. I think they're absolutely right to stand their ground, where they feel that there are other examples that clearly they've cited where they feel there've been things said that are worse than what John Brown said. That's not to say that you agree with what John Brown said. It's a silly thing to say, but they've pointed out, look, it was emotional. He said something. It was a clear mistake, and Rangers TV, as a company, actually made the point of correcting him and saying he's not speaking on behalf of the football club. I don't think there's much more that Rangers could have done in that situation in a live broadcast. I think they did everything that could be duly expected of them. And I think that the measured way in which they've gone about this, it isn't an angry rant, as we've seen with previous people that have been in charge of the press releases or statements. Nothing like that. It was measured, it was grown up, and I think it hit the spot. And I congratulate them for it. And I hope that's the way that Rangers are going to go forward, because I think you'll get from that gives the impression to me that they want to be more cooperative and play more of a grown-up part in finding a way forward. There are problems in Scottish football, and if Rangers want to join the adults in the room discussing it, then that's all the better, because they're a big force, and they should be. And they should be involved in trying to correct things where they're not right. And on this occasion, I think they're spot on.
Well, why do you think the SFA have dug themselves this hole, Jacko, by finding it? I mean, it's clear to everybody that there has been other examples in the past that have gone unpunished on club TV. I mean, everybody associated with Scottish football who's watched Scottish football knows that. And I think we all accept that on club TV channels there's going to be things said that's a bit, no.
Because that's the nature of a club TV,
exactly.
isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. I just don't understand why the SFA have gone through with this and actually find them, because it just creates this now where people's going to be watching, people's going to be digging up everything everybody says on a club TV channel, so why they not getting fined and what's happening to them. And I just think, I agree with everything you've said about Rangers' statement. I just think from the SFA's point of view, it's just opened a can of worms that didn't really need to be opened. I think they could have dealt with it a lot better.
A censure, a slap in the wrist, and don't do it again.
Exactly.
That's all they had to do. Well, you're not saying this is acceptable. You're saying the opposite of that. It's actually unacceptable. You've been warned, censured. Don't do it again, and we don't have to have these conversations. I completely agree with you, Scott. I find it strange that they've chosen to. It's a strange hill to choose to die on, isn't it? When there have been so many other examples of things that have been said in club channels which are, a lot more provocative. I do get there is a line there. You can't claim corruption.
No,
that's plainly wrong. But is it worse than some of the other things that have been said? No, it's not. It's actually pretty much a line with some of the other things that have been said. It shouldn't be said. It's provocative. It's not necessary. But as I said, censure, warning, and off you pop now. Just don't do it again. That would have done, and I think everybody would have settled for that. So it seems unnecessary to me. and perhaps a bit misguided.